This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shasheena Rolle. As always, it's so great to have you with us. Topping news, the countdown is on to the local government election. That poll is set for June 23rd. But today, those looking to have their names placed on the ballot were required to file nomination papers here on Grand Bahama and throughout the Family Islands. Tonight, Sabrina Brown kicks off our local coverage with the process in the Freeport area.
One by one, the candidates looking to secure a spot on the local government Freeport City Council arrived at the administrator's office to submit their nomination papers. Making up the cadre of hopefuls for the Freeport district were several incumbent candidates as well as newcomers. Returning officer for East Grand Bahama, Mary Cooper, says the process went well.
When they came in, they had to produce their nomination form with 5 names and 5 persons who were nominating them, and those persons had to be found in our register for East Grand Bahama. They had to have their legal declaration signed by a justice of the peace and then pay a fee of $50.
Once they made it official, the local government hopefuls were excited to have completed the brief process. Returning officer for Pine Ridge, Dr. Cecil Thompson, was impressed with today's nomination process.
What particularly drew my attention was that the candidates I was telling the administrator in coming to nominate, they brought mothers and grandmothers, and we made sure that the Freeport News captured those, and ZNS captured those photographs because it's so meaningful. Unlike a general elections, you don't have that big crowd, but you have people who, who would know better than the sacrifice of serving in local government than mothers and grandmothers and wives.
Supporters of the various candidates believe it is vital that Bahamians take part in the upcoming local government elections.
These are our local sons and daughters. They are not going to the House of Assembly in Nassau. They will be resident right here in Grand Bahama, where you can touch and feel them. Then they can listen to your concerns, and they will be able to demonstrate and act on your behalf.
So come out and support them, and don't be political about it, because they ain't going to Parliament. Forget the yellow, the red, and the green. It ain't about that. It's about self and your community. That's what it's all about.
We need to get the young people out, especially to support the local government, because I'm a youth officer for Pine Ridge.
Now that the nomination process is over, local government candidates say they will now step up their campaign efforts. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Well, there are some 4 townships in the West Grand Bahama District, Pinders Point West and 8 Mile Rock East and 8 Mile Rock West. Today, a good mix of veterans and newcomers turned out to nominate at the administrator's office in 8 Mile Rock. Megan Shepard has that story.
There are 4 townships in the West Grand Bahama District with a total of 36 seats for a local government. On Tuesday morning, both veterans and first-time candidates came to the administrator's conference to offer themselves for the June 23rd elections. Among those veterans offering themselves for re-election, Kevin Morris in 8 Mile Rock West, Jeff Albury in West Grand Bahama, and outgoing Chief Counselor for West Grand Bahama, Rosny Cooper.
My interest in returning is that I have some work that I would like to see completed that we were unable to be completed based on the budget cuts. Therefore, this term in office, I would like to put a better administration team together to manage district in a different way than it has been doing in the past.
I would like to see some changes with being able to partnership with other areas and stuff and getting some things done in West End. And again, working with my senior citizens West End, hoping that we can get social service and things like that to assist them, health care and stuff like that. I am also a diabetic, so I'd like for the Diabetic Association to really kick in.
One of the things we're feeling is a youth in a community center, and that's one of the things I want. That's one of the things I want to do in local government. Find creative ways in which we could get our young people off the street, get them engaged in positive activities, and even wholesome activities for our seniors.
While not a complete newcomer, Keithora Munro has served in local government in the Berry Islands for one term and is now offering her service to West Grand Bahama.
I decided to run because I still have that passion for the young persons, and I just want to highlight that knowledge is power and to emphasize education, because if you look around, you see a lot of the young people not utilizing the potential that they really have.
Sandy Thompson and Jerron Harvey say while this is their first year offering for a local government, they are confident in what they bring to the table.
For the past years, I have not seen hardly anything being done to upgrade the area of Hana, which is my community. The park, I have an 11-year-old son. He constantly asks me about the basketball court, where the rims are down and it's not in the state where as children can go out and play. Also about indiscriminate dumping, people taking vehicles that they're not using anymore, just taking them through the bushes and leaving them.
I decided to offer myself as a candidate ever since coming back from university. I've always been a person that loves to give back to my community. And it's evident in the profession that I chose as a social worker that helps to move people from a state of welfare to a state of well-being. And so I'm offering myself as a candidate to move my community, to take my community to another level and try to get them to think entrepreneurship and to pretty much illuminate the rich history that Sucre has to tell.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Now in the East, local government has been a viable process of change. Because of its positive impact, many residents continue to express high interest in the process. Joan Davis Rolle reports.
From all indication, the spirit of local government in East Grand Bahama appeared to be alive and well, as candidates wasted no time as they began queuing up early to begin the nomination process. A line began forming shortly before 10 a.m. as candidates from Freetown and as far as Sweetings Key began converging. With the official register in place, nomination officials say they were prepared.
It went pretty good. And, people in East Grand Bahama love to deal with elections. So far we have 6 polling stations in East Grand Bahama. 3 is already decided, being uncontested, and we will have elections in Sweetings Key, High Rock, and McLeanstown.
Now, how was turnout today?
In numbers, we have 20 nominated, and we started at 9, and we had the last one came in at 2 minutes to 12. So therefore, we would have to have an election in High Rock.
However, while candidates began nominating early, the process encountered a hitch. The mandatory $50 nomination fee was not enough. 5 signatures were also required. Assistant Island Administrator Sherrick Ellis.
You have to have 5 registered voters within your constituency, within the district that you are running in. And you have to be registered within that area in order to run, and the persons nominating you would have to be in that area. But we had a little snag with some persons came in with few signatures, with not the amount of signatures required. But before 12, they came back and they was qualified for nomination.
Those candidates facing challenges say before anxiety actually set in, the problems they experienced were rectified.
I had to go on and get some more names because we used the first register, and the first register wasn't good, so we had to use the up-to-date register. You know what I mean? But it's all good now.
I had one person that signed that was not on the register, but I found a way to get around that. Get someone else to sign. And
once you did that?
I was confirmed.
Now that the nomination process is completed, it's on to Election Day come June 23rd. And the question now is who will emerge victorious? In East Grand Bahama, reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Joan Davis Rolle.
Switching gears now, 2 suspects arraigned before Magistrate Andrew Forbes in New Providence today on charges of conspiracy to possess dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, conspiracy to cultivate dangerous drugs, and possession of firearm and ammunition. Now, Jamaican national 49-year-old Errol Wallace of Westmoreland, Jamaica, pled guilty to all charges. He was sentenced to 6 years at Her Majesty's Prison in New Providence. His co-accused 38-year-old Darren Earl Anderson of Brink Hill Road, Lincoln Green, pled not guilty to the charges, but he was remanded to prison in New Providence, and the matter was adjourned to July 30th for trial. The men were arrested on Saturday after police discovered 32 marijuana plants in a field in East Grand Bahama. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.